So I buy it actually all the time in Germany. And also the hair and the wig is difficult to find. You can spend up to $700 for a proper wig and beard.
Welcome to the One Day at a Time podcast, where we take things one day at a time. Today in the studio, we have a very, very special guest all the way from the North Pole. Welcome, Santa Claus!
Ho, ho, ho.
Thank you for joining us in the studio today, Santa.
You're welcome.
Santa, I think it's you look really, really hot.
That is very nice of you, yes. But I'm a couple of 100 years old, so...
Yes. And Singapore's weather is vastly different from, where you're from, cold and
Yes.
everything. How are you, adapting to our weather here?
Well, I cannot change anything to something lighter, so it's the way it is, and I bear it, and that's no problem.
Right. Okay. So, Santa, I think many people love Christmas and many people are always looking forward to the end of the year to celebrate Christmas. And could you share with us a little bit on how the entire idea of, Santa Claus kind of came about?
The Santa Claus in Singapore? Well, I'm going worldwide, so I don't leave out Singapore, so I just come here, no matter the weather. I just love to make everyone happy. And the most amazing thing is that people, as soon as they see me, put a smile on. And that is the most fantastic feeling.
Yeah, it really is. So do you really have a list and you cross out the naughty kids from the good kids and then you deliver presents?
Well, sometimes I say a word, yes, but in the older times I could whack them, but now no more. So which is all right. And but sometimes, parents wish to mention also the sides which needs to improve on a child. Yeah.
Wow. And do you still take pictures with kids on your lap and that sort of thing? Is that still a huge thing these days?
Yes, it is still a huge thing, yes. And kids love to do it. Some cry, okay, yes, because some you're looking a bit, yes, yeah, but that's the tradition, and that's the way it is, and well, the only one way to prevent children crying is just show them books before Santa come, and then they're gonna see how Santa looks like. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. And every year, just based on your estimation, how many kids do you interact with?
Oh, I never counted, to be honest.
Too many.
It must be thousands, yes.
Wow. And all these kids, are they like really young, like below 10, or you interact with anybody from, all age groups?
Anybody, yes. From the little baby and to adults, yes, anyone.
So Santa, how long have you been doing this?
Say again?
How long have you been doing this?
Oh, since hundreds of years, of course, yes. Never stopping, and I hope that people still believe on it.
Yeah, I think people do. And do you bring your little elves around when you travel?
Yes, if there is a demand for it, of course I bring them. Otherwise, they love to be hidden in the background and not being so present. But the naughty little elves.
Naughty little elves. So is Rudolph parked outside our studio right now?
Yes, 200cc.
Nice. Okay, I really would love to find out a lot more on your whole operation, how you kind of bring the smiles and the happiness to people. And I would love to talk to Pierre, the man behind it all. Is that all right?
Of course it is.
Awesome. Let's get to that. Okay, Pierre. Wow, you look absolutely different.
Yes. Yeah, from very much hair to no hair.
So, Pierre, how did you run this company's operation in Singapore called the Santa Claus Alliance Singapore?
No, it's not a company. It's just some couple of friends I got to know during my acting time in Singapore, and they all love to do that.
Also, you used to act.
Yeah.
Oh wow, on TV and everything.
Yeah. Even I made it even to the Hollywood production in India. Yeah.
Oh wow! Do you still do that or not really?
Nowadays, no, not so,
More
not
Santa Claus
so.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm still looking at some castings, but I think so it's not so much in demand. So
I see. I
maybe I'm
see.
too old. I don't know.
No, I'm sure you're not. So, what exactly is the Santa Claus Alliance Singapore?
It's just me basically,
Mm.
and a couple of friends who want to do that too.
Mm.
People ask me since I started. Did the Santa Claus thing for many years alone, and I started 2007. Came here 2005, 2007. I started doing Santa Claus. You know how it
Mm.
is in Singapore. You doing in acting, and someone to ask you if you want to do that. And then I said, oh yeah, why not? Because I did it already when I was in Germany. I was
Mm.
younger. My parents, we did every year. My father was a Santa Claus, so it's a long history of Santa Claus,
Oh yeah.
and then I forgot about it. And I come to Singapore, and suddenly someone asks me, and I say, yeah, why not? Why not? So I remember all these things from the past, and then and then I just acted out the Santa Claus the way imagine him as a like kind of fatherly figure.
Wow. Okay. So, like, your family has always had a affinity with Christmas and Santa Claus.
Very much. We are very traditional. Yeah, we had a Christmas tree, of course. That time there's still candle lights, and we were four children basically at home. We played every year for our parents. We played a fairy tale
Mm.
character. Everyone was a different fairy tale character. And then when this play was over, then my father came in and as Santa Claus, and then
Wow. I think that's very, very rare here, right? It's
not so sure. I
yeah.
think, yeah. I mean, this is a very, very busy city here,
Yeah.
and people focus very much on their job, yeah,
Yeah. Work,
and their
school.
doings, and which is good because it creates the money they can buy the service, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so. And by chance, when you are here in Singapore, someone asked you, and then you just carried on the entire tradition of being Santa Claus here as well.
Let's say I restarted it kind of,
You
yeah,
started, yeah.
and again for many years I did it just alone, just yeah, and then later I just asked some friends if they want to do it too, because
Right.
the Santa Claus events are usually on weekends and usually the same time. I
Yeah.
cannot be anywhere. I can only be at one place.
Yeah.
And then I asked some friends, and they were happy to do it. Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
nice. Okay,
There's
so
all my acting contacts from the 2008 to 2010, and new now this year, and some new ones.
wow. So how many of you are there?
I used to have 10 actually.
Okay, that's
10
quite a lot of Santa Clauses.
Yeah. Now then came Corona. Of course, there was a
Oh,
big,
yeah.
big drop.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Lots of people left Singapore, and it's still not really 100% back. So yeah, I didn't count, but I think we are back to 6 or something.
Nice.
If needed, of course, only.
Did you feel like because during like COVID-19, the coronavirus, surely like events, engagements has kind of like tapered down and
A
everything.
lot until last
right?
year, actually. Last year, I think was like nobody was really sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because big events like Christmas Wonderland or
Yeah.
Orchard Road,
Yeah.
of course, they need to invest a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, I assume, yeah, from a point of view of business, but you invest a lot and you don't know what's coming with the Corona thing. It doesn't come back, does it not come back? So many didn't do it, I think, yeah. And that's why it was like not so much yet. It was all right still. Family visits was back, yeah.
Right.
But this year, I think there's no limit.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone is like,
Absolutely.
look, Orchard Road and stuff. It's like before and even bigger.
Yeah. Do you think this year will be much better than last year?
Definitely, yeah. It will be more Christmassy, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very exciting time for you and your friends as well.
It
to come
is,
out
it
again.
is. But more important is for the people, and finally they realize some kind of this Corona thing is over, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah.
it's somewhere in the background still. But when everything goes back to, I wouldn't say times. We have differences, of course, still, but so they feel more free. Like yeah, let's go.
Okay, so Pierre, when you are getting into costume, right? Because the getup is big, right? The getup is big. How long do you usually take to get into and out of costumes?
It's about 10 minutes.
10 minutes to get in and to get out as well.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to know, because you told me that you ride, right? You ride around between events and things like that. Do you take out the costume before you get on the road, or do you ride in your costume? Because you mentioned that events are always on weekends. They tend to be back to back.
Yeah.
So do you ride as Santa, or do you change?
Actually, I did that for many years, changing all the time. But the last 2 years, I on Christmas Day at least, and on Christmas Eve, between events, I didn't take it out. I changed only the hair, because the hair on my scooter, right? So I just drove as a Santa Claus, and there's like amazing reactions on the street. The people are taking pictures from the car window, like through the window, and something like that. Yeah, it's nice. I don't know if that is actually legal or illegal. I don't know really sure, but I just do it.
Yeah, because it's much more efficient, right? Since the events are...
That's one thing, but the fun is between. It's nice. Yeah, but you have to change eventually, because it's very hot and you're sweating underneath, and so you have to change.
Yeah, it does look very hot.
It just now it was very hot. Yes,
yeah.
Even it's cold here.
Yeah, and do you have like random stuffings to kind of bulk up your the tummy and everything?
Yeah, luckily I'm not that big.
You're not
naturally.
No.
And I have a kind of belly. Yeah. Yeah,
okay, so
belly.
then I'm really curious to know, where do you kind of like hunt for all these props, for your costume, like your bell and which looks really, really nice and looks really vintage, and your boots as well with the bells and everything. Did you like kind of build them yourself? Do you kind of make them yourself, or how does that work?
The jingles on the boots, I did that myself. But these are actually riding boots. But this is a very good question. It took me really some years to find the proper equipment.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference in quality. And it's somehow, for some reason, I buy suits from here or Taobao or China directly.
Yeah.
The quality is not as good as when I buy it from Germany. Yeah. But when I look at the tag in Germany, it's made in China, so I don't understand. So it's actually really a better quality. Maybe because it is warmer, I don't know.
Maybe.
So the quality is better, and so I buy it actually all the time in Germany. And also the hair and the wig is difficult to find. You can spend up to $700 for a proper wig and beard.
Wow,
it's crazy.
$700. That's almost $1,000.
You have a fantastic beard like in Hollywood movies. Yeah, but the beard doesn't only last for one season. Yeah, then it's like really. Yeah, it's usually, there are a lot of videos online how to maintain a beard and how to make them look good again. I tried a lot of these, but it didn't work.
Oh, so that means every single year you kind of have to revitalize your costume a little bit. You can't really use everything again. Yeah,
the belts are spoiled and not a good quality. But on the other hand, you always need to look like, especially during Corona, I didn't want to invest because I didn't know where it goes, right? Will that be forever or not? So then I didn't want to invest. But now, if this goes on, I'm going to try to find a proper leather belt, which lasts many years, of course.
Wow,
that would be good. I always have to double it or triple it for my other friends.
Yeah, so I actually wasn't really expecting that, because my impression is that you have one solid costume and then you use it every single year. You keep it into like a box or something and then you bring it out again. But
I do. The costumes last longer. Longer, and now I change over the years. I change because people also demand something different. Not demand, but would like to see something different.
Right.
So you see, I have the chapper now here. That is new, and I like it. It's even warmer. Yeah, but it looks nicer, and that's really worth to buy.
Right, and it's the little touches that...
Yeah, it's little touches, a little change in here and there, rather than the, red and white only. But red and white has to be. So that is in Singapore classic.
Yeah, and like the whole, even during Christmas period, the whole getting in and out of costume, planning for events, like going everywhere around Singapore, it must be quite tiring for you, right?
Let's put it this way. It's basically just 1 or maximum 1.5 months. I'm kind of happy when it's over.
Yeah.
It's really stressful, and especially events where people come to your lab for hundreds of people, like Garden by the Bay, and sit on a lab, and you sit there for an hour or two, and like 2 hours, like 1,000 people taking pictures. It's not as easy as it looks.
Definitely.
It's really, you have to stay in character for these 2 hours, sometimes longer. And it's a little bit exhausting. Yeah,
and you can't really even eat with all the get up, and like you have to drink through a straw, and
yes.
I would imagine going to the bathroom would be an issue as well. Like
it takes a longer time. Yes.
Yeah. So like I'm really curious to know. It's not an easy job, right? So why do you keep doing it year after year, even though it's such a physically exhausting thing to do?
Because I see people change in an instant when they see Santa, from whatever they have in their mind at that moment. Sometimes they're very, very busy and looking very concentrated or frustrated, and the moment they see Santa, it's bing, smile, and this is fantastic. This is like, I add some positivity to that day, busy day or stressful day, or just to the children. Of course, the children are much easier. They just see Santa and run towards Santa, say Santa. Yeah, that's easier. Yeah. But yeah, also the parents or any other one. The moment they see Santa, bang, good mood and happy smile, take picture.
Right, nice. Right. So it's kind of like bringing magic into a non-magical world.
Correct. Yeah. So it's a very stressful society here. I mean, frankly speaking, of course, we have to say that is true. Yeah, and
it is. Yeah,
it's basically everywhere. Yeah, everywhere the stress is everywhere. You have construction sites everywhere. This all adds on to a kind of constant. Asking for performance, let's say. But that moment is like ding, something like falls off, and then they just be like, maybe it's to remind them on their own childhood, which was good, of course.
Yeah. So, would you say that the most rewarding part about being Santa is being able to kind of bring out the positivity in people?
Yeah. True. Yeah. Make them smile. That's the best. The best I feel is the best feedback.
Yeah. And it's physically exhausting, but at the end of 1.5 months of running around everywhere in your costume, it's still very rewarding.
Yeah. I mean, it's not every day. You have to be frank. It has weekdays are more quiet, so I can repair my suit and stuff.
Right. So. For the busy period, do you usually do more house visits, like house parties, or do you do a lot of engagements in the mall and events and stuff like that? How do you kind of split up your time?
Yeah, it depends. Whoever wants to have us ask for Santa, I see if it's free, and then I do it. Yeah.
So
both.
How long do you spend per engagement usually? So like an hour or two, or it could be like an entire day? Or it depends on who engages you?
An entire day is quite seldom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's seldom. It's usually, especially around from mid-December to just 2 weeks, actually. From mid-December to 25th. After 25th, it's bing, finish. Yeah. Clear cut. It's a lot of families. For families, it's just half an hour. There's not, and I'm happy about this, because Santa is not supposed to hang around for a long time. It's just traditionally he comes through the chimney, drops the presents, takes his cookies. I mean, from the fair, from the storybooks, takes hhis cookies, drinks his milk, right? Maybe takes a carrot for Rudolph and so, and then disappears again, and that's mystery of Santa Claus and not really been seen actually. But now, of course, we see him. But I prefer these short visits.
I see.
Because it's when Santa is too long or very long at one event, I do that too. Of course, I try to entertain, and so it's harder, of course. But sometimes then the children they become naughty, they don't know what to do. Santa's still around. Actually, it was already us also when the children come and I was still there. They say, "Oh, Santa, you're still here?" I was like, yeah.
I see. Actually, Pierre, I'm quite curious to know as well. How did the whole concept and idea of Santa Claus come about?
As I said, it was in my acting times in Singapore, and then someone asked me if I do this, if I want to do this, and I said, okay, yeah, why not?
Right. Santa has been around for like hundreds of years, right? So do you have any idea who, started this entire tradition of Santa Claus?
Oh yeah, that is it's a long history. It's about 600 years, and Santa looked very much different, kind of like the Santa from Finland. Santa from Finland looks a bit more greenish, more rough.
I didn't know. I see.
Not so red and white. Yeah, the red and white actually came only in the 20th century when some guy, of course, for the Coca-Cola advertisement. And that sticked a lot. Yeah, it sticked a lot. And people since then want to see a Santa Claus in red and white.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So it's in the few decades ago, because of a Coca-Cola campaign that Santa became red and white.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Still, the earlier times, it was basically it was a man from the forest, right? So very old times, it was a man from the forest, and they came to the families that time, and it was poor times. Everyone was poor, and then they deliver some sweets and stuff, and it was actually Nikolaus who only gave presents on the 6th of December and not presents on the 24th in the beginning.
Oh.
So, but then later, when people had more money at hand, then they also added on the 24th.
Right.
But originally, it was only the Nikolaus who came on 6th December, which is still there today, where you're supposed to put out your shoes and clean your shoes, put out your shoes, next day some sweets in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Pierre, in your opinion, what do you think is the most challenging thing about being Santa every year?
Most challenging thing is being there, actually. It's as simple as it is. You cannot get sick. You cannot just cancel an event because the kids are waiting there.
Yeah.
So if you really feel sick or so, you have to throw in a couple of pills and then just go. You cannot just quit. Unless, of course, a event of whatever higher nature or so. But that didn't happen yet. So it's and very luckily it's never happened. So I was always in time. Or maybe sometimes late, that's true, which is not so nice already. I have to say that, but also not so often, luckily. So the most important is to be there in time and be there as a Santa.
Yeah.
So the kids are waiting.
And be in character all the time, right?
Yeah, and change. Now, of course, the hardest time is also when you have to change on any toilets or HDB void deck somewhere into the costume. That is also a little bit, but possible, yeah.
When you're not busy being Santa Claus in December, what else do you do for the rest of the year from January to November?
I actually retired. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, yeah, I'm actually retired.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually retired and I live with my wife together and here in Singapore, and then I go home or I go in other countries and I travel around a bit and teaching a bit, since I'm a German, I teach a bit German, helping out because I'm a teacher, used to be a teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I teach a bit German, whoever wants to learn German, or often online nowadays. Since Corona, it's another change.
Yeah.
Since Corona, people are much more open to online teaching.
Oh, wow. So you used to be a teacher in Germany?
No.
Oh.
No. Just here in Singapore, actually.
Oh, I see.
I did the diploma in teaching in Singapore. Amazing, right?
Oh, wow. And what did you teach?
That time was English. Yeah,
I
that was
see.
English. Well, then changed a lot in Singapore. Yeah, so there was suddenly too many native English teachers, and then I had to change German because.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So you were a teacher for a long time.
Yeah, some 2000, I think 2010, I did the diploma, yeah.
So, do you think that your experience as a teacher kind of helped you become Santa Claus? Because as a teacher, you also have to kind of interact with a lot of students, a lot of people, and, like being in character, even though you're interacting not as yourself, as Santa, right? But do you think your experience as a teacher, kind of interacting with students, kind of helped with the whole Santa Claus thing?
Definitely. I mean, I was in an acting club, let's say, in Germany already when I was younger. Yeah. But then because of the location change, it also came away from it. So we also played theater in Germany already. So then when I'm from East Germany, so yeah, when the wall came down, so the world was suddenly open. So I went to Thailand, becoming a dive instructor, scuba dive instructor.
Wow.
So I teach the people diving, and that was a nice experience. And of course, that was starting to teach, in 1999. And since then, is teaching my passion, let's say.
Wow.
Before it was diving, really.
Right.
I used to work as a commercial diver in Germany. And then then the wall was open, and I thought, in winter it's so cold in Germany, I don't want to dive in the cold water anymore. And I do half a year in summer in Germany working as a commercial diver, and the other half working as a scuba dive instructor in Thailand.
Oh.
And that worked out a little bit. But then I had a slip disc, so I needed to undergo a surgery, and then I went full-time scuba dive instructor.
I see. Wow.
That commercial diver was too heavy work, physically too heavy. I didn't want to end up in a wheelchair.
Definitely.
And I skipped that, and I went for the fun.
Wow, so you have done a whole bunch of different things in your life.
Oh yeah. I like this free and easy and thing, and it worked out so far.
Yeah, I mean, you're retired. It definitely worked out.
Yeah,
it definitely worked out.
Well, it's not a constant income of money, let's say, because you have a lot of times no job. Yeah, it's always going up and down. If look at the financial side, but I'm happy with this. I'm not chasing the money. It's okay. I'm fine with what I need. Then, of course, I look at my estimated age. How old do I get? And then is the money enough? Yeah. I mean, we are in Singapore. We have to look at this.
Definitely.
And not only in Singapore, actually everywhere. And I decided, okay, I can continue this.
Yeah.
And well. Good, fine. Well,
nice.
I'm not a rich man, but I'm happy.
You're happy. I think that's the most important. I think especially, you kind of mentioned that in Singapore, we do feel the whole performance stress and everything, and too many people focus a lot on building the income, building the assets, and we kind of forget what it means to just live the day, right, and be happy.
Yeah, we are caught in this preset life, born, childhood, school, then work, and then retirement. Yeah, this is most of people are. It's working, but for me, I didn't want it to. So I'm not a rebel or something. I just didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
Being employed, I was employed many years, of course.
Yeah.
Then I was self-employed, and I found out that's a better way to make business or to earn money. And then as a scuba dive instructor, I was employed as well. So it's not that I was never employed.
Right.
But I was always like this free and easy kind of stuff. life where not going from home to office and from office to home every day.
So you get a little bit less stuck because you kind of have a little bit of freedom to kind of choose what you would like to do.
Yeah, but you have to have the guts to do that because you lose money in a way.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
then better times come, you gain money, and so on.
Ups and downs, right?
It's you have to have the guts to do that. If you have big goals and need a lot of money, then maybe you stay employed and study hard and become a good income, get a good income. Maybe it's good, but I'm happy with lesser. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very important thing to, for everybody in, especially our type of society to think about, right? That, it's not having a lot of money, being a rich man doesn't always keep you happy, doesn't always keep you contented, right?
Yeah, of course. And especially in Singapore, if you have a lot of money, life can become very comfortable. Yeah, that is true, but that applies for every country.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go that way, fine, do it. Many people do like hard life or hard learning curve until 30 and then they make money. Fine. Yeah. I didn't want to. I didn't like school actually.
Right.
I'm a teacher, but I didn't like school when I was at school. So I was happy to finish the school early and then go for work.
Yeah.
So that was
what's important is that
all the times.
Yeah, you're happy and you make enough to live a good, comfortable life as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming down here. I really appreciate that. If somebody wants to kind of interact with you or engage you for your services as Santa, where can they find you? Can you let them know into this camera here?
Oh, I have a I'm not a big advertisement guy, actually. I'm very bad in that. So everything administration, I'm very bad. But I have a Facebook page. It's called Santa Claus Alliance Singapore. And there I can be contacted. Otherwise, that's
Awesome.
That's
Thank
the
you
only
so
thing
much
actually I have in Singapore.
Santa Claus Alliance.
Santa Claus Alliance Singapore. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So if you're looking to engage a Santa Claus this season, don't forget to check out Santa Pier at Santa Claus Alliance Singapore. And we'll see you next time on the One Day at a Time podcast. Peace.